All right, welcome to Growth School. If you can hear me, can you drop a quick comment in the comment section? Can you drop a quick comment in the comment section if you can hear me? As we we dig deep into the concept of strategic progress, part two. All right, I started a part one series some weeks ago on my Facebook community, that's Growth Community. So I started a Facebook, I had a Facebook live session on that Facebook group. So I decided to take the part two series to a YouTube live so that a couple more people can gain access to it. So I will be sharing a lot of very amazing, very intrinsic, and very insightful things. So, like you can see, the topic is strategic progress, and we're looking at knowing and making your next bold move. So, can you just kindly do something? Share the link, invite your friends, and let them join in on this webinar. Let them join in on this growth school session tonight. Yeah, it's night here in Nigeria. I don't know where you're joining from, whether it's noon, morning, or wherever. Welcome to Growth School. It will be so much to learn. It will be so much to be gotten. It will be so much to be provided. And I will tell you that tonight is going to be something that will so change your life. You will learn a lot that will really, really change your life. I won't be taking so much of time, but advice is stay to the end because I have a free gift for all those who stay till the end of this webinar. I have a free gift for all those who stay till the very end. So we're talking on strategic progress, knowing and making your next bold move. Knowing your next bold move and how you can actually take that step, how you can not just know the bold move, but you can actually execute them. And so much to learn. I don't want to be ahead of myself. Let's stick on for the next 2 minutes and then we will continue on this webinar. We will continue on this webinar. I will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to Growth School. It's going to be so insightful. I want you to pay a lot of attention. Jot if you can, listen attentively, pay rapt attention, and ensure that you don't get distracted in this webinar because you will be learning a lot that will change your life, that will make so much remarkable difference in your life. And like I've said, I would keep to my promise of giving everyone who's still to the end a free gift. And I will be giving you a gift on something that would help you in your journey of public speaking, whether you're just starting or whether you've been in the journey for a very long time or you want to take your public speaking skill to the next level. Sorry, you want to take your public speaking to the next level. So I would be giving you that gift if you stay till the end. As a way to start, I want to tell you a couple of things about myself. While going to the university, I went to the university in 2009 2009, but I think because of a couple of the ASU strike, um, we didn't start until I think 2010, but I got admission in 2009. And while on campus, I used to be a very introverted person. I used to be very, very shy. I used to be this kind of person who was somehow I had this feeling that, oh, I could not do a lot of things. I could not speak in public. I could not reach out to people. I could not communicate with people. In fact, when I got into a gathering of large audience, it's very difficult for me to connect with people, to network with people, to interact with people. In fact, even amidst my colleagues on campus, my departmental mates, then I could hardly not even just reach out to people and talk to them. And if you have watched a couple of my videos or you've been on my live session, you notice that I have a kind of um, gap toothed in front here. And that happened through an experience in secondary school. Because in secondary school, I was this very not tall. I'm not as tall. I'm not as huge as I am now. It's not like I'm so huge, but I'm not as huge as I am now. I was of a very small stature, and that morning, people were, no, evening or afternoon, colleagues, it was the end of school and people were rushing. They were really rushing to go and all of that. So, and because of my kind of person, I was more used to a rowdy environment and all of that. I was pushed against a pole and I hit my mouth, my face on a particular pole, and it affected my tooth as a result of the fact that I was not this really energetic person. I was just someone who is not so fluent. And I got into secondary school, I had the same attitude, I had the same habit. I could not really relate well to people. I could not communicate well with people. I could not reach out to people. I could not even talk in public. But I realized that even amidst all of these things, I had my classmates who actually felt that I had this capacity to really speak and to be involved in projects that will transform and turn the lives of people around. Like, for example, we had a particular group work amidst in a particular course. It's actually a particular course for general studies, English and politics, and a couple of that. And they gave us a group work to do. And it happened that my colleagues actually told me, all right, those people in my group told me that, oh, you're the one that would do this. Oh, you would go ahead and be the one that would speak for us. You'll be the one that would make the presentation. You'll be the one that would do all of those speaking. All right. I took up the challenge. I went out and it was amazing. We got a very nice call for that particular task and it turned out really, really great. Now I'm really going somewhere, and all of this went on, and eventually got to the time where I was told, oh, okay, my colleague felt, oh, this guy was doing well in our test, he was doing well. Let's tell him, why can't you take us tutorial and all of that? All right, I took up the step. I started teaching I started teaching my classmates. I took tutorials for them. At times, I even took tutorials for those in lower levels. And one thing I realized was by taking each of those steps, by pushing myself, by coming out of my comfort, I was taking a lot of both steps that was bringing out something in me that I actually didn't know. Now, after that, it got to the time where I went to the NYSC, and during my NYSC, I actually joined a CDS group. CDS, for those who are not in Nigeria, is called Community Development Service Group. All right, so CDS group. And my CDS group right there in Zamfara State was legal aid. It had to do with a CDS meant basically for lawyers, those who were barristers, and then they're coming to serve. And I got in there, I was not a lawyer, I read computer science, and these people saw something in me. I say, oh, all right, our next director of lecture was going to be this person. So I became a director of lecture for that particular CDS group. Now, that was a way of taking a bold step, a bold move. I've not been a lawyer before, but I needed to serve as an executive in a particular group meant for lawyers. Eventually, I came back after service year. I finished service here in 2015. Yes, I think that was 2015. I came back to Abeokuta, proceeded for masters, doing my master's degree again. People felt, oh, this guy was good. Let him come out to take us tutorials. And I would take tutorials, sometimes go out of my way, study, pick past questions. I would stop them, try to teach. Even a lot of the people who were taking these tutorials were people who were fathers, who were people who had businesses, people who were working with corporate organizations. But I realized that at each level, my confidence was building up and I was able to really do more, even though I never knew what it was going to result into. And after service, after MSc and all of that, I was doing a couple of things, impacting people, doing one or two things there, holding WhatsApp sessions, trying to bring up guests, linking up to a lot of my connections to make people teach and then inspire a couple of people. I used my network, brought people to WhatsApp group. They taught virtually every week we were having sessions. We're doing a lot of amazing things. And it got to the time when it was no longer enough to just hold WhatsApp session. And this willingness then came that, oh, why not will our physical event? Wow. This was the first time I would ever decide to host or convene a physical event. And then it started in Abeokuta. We made use of one of the amazing venues in Abeokuta then. We had a lot of young people. I had friends who came, who spoke, who inspired people, who taught things around purpose and career. And it was really amazing. I discovered that after that first event, people requested and said, oh, when will it be the time for Ibadan? When will it be the time for Lagos? When will it be the time for this? And then that event grew. And I can see going on from that event called Purpose Hangout, which held in, we had Abeokuta, we had Lagos, we had Ibadan, we had Polytechnic of Ibadan, we had Ekiti State University in Ekiti State, we had Port Harcourt, we had Ondo State. Now, all of these things I'm trying to say is that I never pictured all of those big things that was going to come when all the opportunity to take those giant steps were coming. When the opportunity to go ahead and be the Deputy Solicitor General for my CDS and be the Director of Lectures and old WhatsApp classes, I never saw that there was something that was going to become really big. I never saw a Facebook community that today now it is over 1,700. What I was just doing was that I was picking up challenges in stages, and in picking up those challenges and stages, I was getting better, and then the influence kept growing, and then the knowings kept on happening. A lot of people would never have known me if I was still myself, all right, who was pushed against a pole and lost his tooth in secondary school, or if I was still myself who came newly into the university and I became so timid to speak to people, to impact people, to be a blessing to people, to touch lives and to turn a lot of lives around. Now, what I'm trying to say right now is a lot of the times, the reasons why you limit yourself from causing a lot of miracles in your life is because you are so obsessed by 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years ambitions, and yet you are taking no bold move now. You are so obsessed about, oh, I want to become this, I want to become that, 10 years time is going to be massive. And then you are fearful about what's going to happen in 10, 5, 20 years of your life. And you are not going out right now. What's the bold move? What's the next step you have to take in your journey of life, in your journey of career, in your journey of assignment, in your journey of your pursuit, in your journey of all of those things? You are not figuring out your next bold move. It's not enough to say, oh, I know something, I want to do the duplex. What are you doing right now? Where are you right now? Progress does not happen by being obsessed about great visions 10, 20 years from now, but understanding what is the next step you have to take in your progress journey. In your progress journey, it's not about telling us, oh, I know I'm going to become this. You see a lot of people making a lot of lofty declaration. What are you going to do with your life? Oh, I'm going to become this. And right now, they don't even know their next bold move. And that thing you are looking far away will not really open up until you know your next bold move, you know your next bold move, you know your next bold move, and then you are able to journey along into massive impact, massive progress, and massive transformation in your life. I just told you my story. I never knew someday I would stand here and be taking a YouTube live where people would listen to me. I never knew I would have a Facebook community where people would always listen, engage, ask questions. I never knew I would host master classes that people would come and learn. I never knew there would be someday people invite me to their programs to speak. People invite me to a lot of things to speak. I was just taking my next bold move. Currently, I got a contact from an international organization who needed a short-term expert on a particular project they were proposing. Now, when all the journey towards this thing happened, it's actually a German organization. When all of these things happened, I only got into an organization not even sure whether I'll be able to make so much impact. And when they brought that project, in which this organization was a partner organization with that German company, one German corporation, what really happened was that I have never been a monitoring and evaluation officer before. I've never been a business trainer before. I've never been a business coach before. But I was willing to take that bold move by learning, by executing, by mastering, and by delivering excellently. I never knew people were watching me, people were seeing all of the things that were being given. I never knew there would be a great open door that would happen later on, but I was willing to take that next bold move. Let me tell you right now, the actions and the things you are scared of taking, all right? When people bring tasks to you and they say, oh, can you do this thing? You say, oh, no, I can't. You don't understand that by taking that action, by stepping into it, is what would open the door for the massive miracle you're looking ahead of you. A lot of people say, oh, miracle has to happen. They keep praying, they keep taking time, they go for programs, they go for events, and they expect some prophetic words to come to them, not understanding the prophecy within about taking the next bold move that will make the difference in their life. You know, a lot of people, their story is just like that woman in the time of, I think, Elisha now, in the time of maybe Elijah or Elisha, I think it's Elisha. That woman whose husband died, and the husband was a prophet, and left a lot of debt for them, left a lot of trouble for them. And the woman thought that, oh, probably what would be the massive thing was that wealth was going to come. But her next bold move was to know what she had in her house. That was the next bold move. It was first knowing what was that in her house. Then the next bold move was obeying the instruction to borrow a lot of vessels. If that woman said, oh, I'm scared, I don't know if they would give me the vessel, I don't know if they would lend me, I don't know if they would not talk to me as all of this, but she was willing to take the action to just speak, to just take action, to just transform her life, to just make a lot of difference. Your next bold move may be learning that skill that will make massive difference in your life. I never knew I could have an email list. What did I do? I took a bold move. I learned. I started learning through MailChimp. I migrated to SendFox. And by doing that, I was able to improve. I was able to do more. And the mailing list kept growing. Your growth is not in your perfection. Your growth is in your taking your next bold move. Your greatness, your miracle, all right, your miracle is not in understanding all that will be figured out 5, 10 years from now, but the ability to take the next bold move. A lot of the people you celebrate, a lot of people, the people you say, oh, I wish this person is doing this, oh, I love that person's result, and you admire their result. The only thing that separated them was the ability to take actions of faith and courage. The things you fear, all right, a lot of the things you fear are actually the solution to your massive influence and impact. They are actually the answers to your massive income revenue that you don't even know about. That business idea you're scared of, that you don't even want to start, you don't want to talk to anyone, you feel it's so big and you're doing nothing about it, is the reason why you would not be able to get the open doors of miracles in your life. So what am I trying to say? A lot of the things you are trying to ask are actually just figuring out what's the next bold move, what's the next thing I have to do right now. And then you are laser focused about building relevance in it, and then you can change your life from that point. You can change your life from that moment. You can change your life from that point. There are a lot of people right now that, you're thinking, relationship, it looks as if, someday what will it be like? I'm going to have an amazing home. I'm going to do all of that. The next bold move may be the ability to start deciding to invest in being friendly, being loving, being winsome, being a person that people love, being a person that people attract, being a person that can maintain friendship relationship, understanding how to engage friendship relationship. That may be the next bold move. And then from being friendly, you may attract the right person to your life. And then you start knowing the next bold move is understanding how to sustain a relationship until it leads to courtship, until it leads to marriage. It's not first thinking, marriage, and then you are now seeing marriage as something big. That's on the relationship part. Your next bold move right now is, you think, I want to write a book. Someday I'm going to write, bestseller book. How will my book get to Amazon? The first bold move may just be learning how to write quality posts that draws engagement and inspires. That may be what you need to start doing. And by knowing that next bold move, taking that step, building on that journey, you are then able to get to that farther end. So a lot of people want to get to the end, but they are not willing to at least take the step. They are not confident enough to take the step. And I need you to know right now that you will never know you can walk on the sea until you first dip your feet on that sea. You would never know. You would never know how much miracle that can happen through your life. You would never know how much of the things that can happen through you. You never know the number of people you can touch, you can transform, you can change their life until you first dip your feet on that sea. So don't expect miracles to happen. Don't expect those great things. Don't get so obsessed about the vision. Yes, have the vision at heart, but what do you have to do? Figure out what's the next thing I have to do right now. There are some of you right now that your next bold move is to apply for a passport. There are some of you right now that your next bold move is, while you're trying to say, I want to just travel abroad, do a master's abroad, do all of those things, is to pick a master's form right here and right now somewhere and begin to do something. That may be the next bold move. And from figuring it out, you begin to get the next step, next journey. I didn't arrive here because I believed everything was going to be like this. There are many things happening right now that I actually did not say. I was not obsessed about them 10 years ago. I only knew the next bold move, the next bold move, the next bold move, the next bold move, and then I got here. And I understand that a lot of the miracles that will still happen through my life, a lot of the influence and impact that will still take place will happen by taking the next bold move. All right. So I wrote a couple of things here, which I want to read out. A lot of the times we are distracted by uncertain things and clouded by the fear of the failure of the future. This makes us lose the now. Okay, I'll read that again. A lot of times we are distracted by a lot of uncertainties and clouded by the fear of the future, which makes us lose the now. So we are clouded about the future and you are scared. What will the future hold for me? What will the future be like? Hey, the future, the future, the future, the future, the future, the future. And now, the now is dying. You are so concerned about the future. You are so clouded about the future, but you don't even know what to do right now. And you don't know that it is from knowing what to do now that you would arrive at the future. By knowing what you have to do right now is what will make you arrive at the future. So the future will not just come because you pray about it, you call it for to happen, but you figure out, what do I have to do right now? Do I have to start a community? Do I have to invest in reading? It's like somebody who says, someday I'm going to have a very big library. And he begins to envision that future. And he says, I'll have a big library, and then I'll have thousands of books around, and it will be so great. And the person is not figuring out now. Getting to that future starts by at least buying one book and buying another one and buying another one and buying another one and buying another one. That's how you arrive at the future. But when you become so obsessed about the future that you don't know what to do right now, you lose even entering into that future. Now, what are some of the things that I need to talk about? Number one, mindset. Mindset. Now, what definition do I give to mindset? Mindset is a conscious and unconscious belief system. Okay? Conscious and unconscious belief system that help an individual, okay? Conscious and unconscious belief system that an individual has, which controls the decisions and interpretations it gives to every circumstance. Okay, what's that conscious and unconscious belief system that controls, all right, a person's interpretation and decision concerning every other circumstance? Until you change, until you are able to renew your mindset, until you are able to work on your mindset, until you're able to do something deliberately with your mindset, you would not be able to really make massive transformation with your life. You will not be able to make massive transformation with your life. Now, the mindset is like something that says, even if you are definitely seeing white ahead, if your mind is set that everything you build that looks like this is black, it will be difficult to believe that that thing is white. So it starts with working and building your mindset. It starts with doing something deliberately with your mindset. It starts with doing something intrinsic with your mindset. It starts with working deliberately on your mind. Okay, if your mind always believes, oh, the future is impossible, the future is uncertain, things are just like it can't work, you keep believing things can't work, things can't get better, all of things can't move, you would keep remaining the way you are forever, then definitely that's how things continue to be. So, the number one thing you need to work on in determining your next bold move is that you work on your mindset and you set your mind always on knowing, why am I doing this? What do I really want to do? Okay. When you know why you're doing what you do and what you really want to do, you would have the motivation to really do it. Okay. How to figure out everything, every other thing is very, very easy and simple. It's very, very easy and simple. Very, very easy and simple. If the mindset is right, the results will be right. If the mindset is right, the result will be right. If the mindset is right, the outcome will be right. If the mindset is right, every other thing is well figured out. Okay. Number two has to do with courage. 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 Like I told you, every other thing that have happened, every other thing I've done, have happened through courage. Yes, there were times I've been scared. There were times I felt, oh, how can I do this? There were times I felt, oh, how can I make this difference? There were times I felt, oh, how can this be created? But courage, picking up that courage to just take up that sign, picking up that courage to start Purpose Hangout, picking up that courage to build a mailing list, picking up that courage to start a Facebook community, picking up that courage to come up on YouTube Live, whether I'm sure that people would watch me or not, picking up that courage, picking up that courage, courage. Every instance, every time you are picking up courage to do something. The things that scare you are actually the things that would make the miracle. The things that scare you are actually the things that would make the miracle. The miracle is actually in the things that scare you. So you must pick up courage to switch your life to a brand new level, to switch your life to a brand new pedestal, to switch your life to something more better than you have ever seen, to switch your life to something more transforming than people think about you. You know, a lot of times when people say you cannot do that thing, you cannot achieve that result, and then you pick up courage to do it, you have just wrought a miracle. Okay? Now, number three, very quickly, like I said, it's going to be short. Number three, you leverage inspirations more from actions than from words. You know, the problem is a lot of us, we are saying a lot, we are saying many, many things. We're saying many things. We are talking about this, we're talking about that, we're talking about diverse lot of things. But the problem really is that we are doing nothing. We are talking about so many things, but we are doing nothing. We're talking about so many things, but we are doing nothing. Okay? Hold on a sec. Okay? We're talking about so many things. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. And you're declaring a lot of things. They are good. But you know what? The doors of destiny and the answers do not just open to proclamation, they open to moves. All right? The doors do not open to you because you're talking about it, you're just speaking, but they open up as you move towards them. Have you been to a shopping mall where you stood afar and you say, oh, this door open, this door open, this door, it does not happen. But you know what happens as you begin to approach close, whether it's an hotel, it's a suit, or it's a mall, as you begin to approach close to those doors and it begins to sense your steps, what happens? The doors begin to open up to you. That's the same thing that happens in destiny. That's the same thing that happens in every aspect of life, in every moment, whether it's your social life, your spiritual life, it's your physical life, it's your career, it's your profession, whatever. All right. As you begin to take the move towards destiny, as you begin to take the move towards result, as you begin to take that bold move, what happens? The doors begin to open to you. Okay. And this is why it's important that you rise up to take action. You rise up to take a step. You rise up to act. You rise up to do something differently. All right. You are not moved by, oh, nobody has done that before. Oh, there are lots of people in that space. The moment you can increase your value, the moment you can take that bold move, the world will answer to you. You know, this world we are in does not answer to those who are intimidated and those who feel they are not valuable. Those who are intimidated by the result of others, those who assume that chances will just come to them. No, it comes to those who walk by faith and courage. Who walk by faith and courage. Okay? Now let me tell you a quick word which I think will encourage you to start taking action. You are not old or young based on your birthday. All right. Like someone said, you are old or young based on your death day. None of us know how much time we still have. So, do you still want to remain at the point of stagnation where you're weak and tired, you're intimidated by things that happen, or you're looking at a point where every day begins to matter? Yes, have that vision, have that goal, have that ambition, but never forget to figure out your next bold move. Thank you, everyone, for joining. That's all for tonight. Um, okay, if you have questions, can you drop them? You may choose to drop them maybe now or later on. If you have questions, can you drop them? If you have questions, drop them as I try to answer your questions. If you have questions, drop them. I cannot see anyone here. Cannot see any question here yet. All right, so I will drop this video as a replay, and I hope you get lots and lots and lots of value later on. Please drop your questions, comment on this, like, share, and drop your comment. I will do well to answer them. So strategic progress, very essential, very crucial, and it will make a lot of difference in your life. So just figure out your next bold move. Take the next and the next and the next, and before you know it, you arrive at a point of fulfillment and at a point where you are transformed. Till I come your way again on that growth school or podcast session or any other invitation, any other event, any other session coming on, keep remaining phenomenal, keep being exceptional, and always make the next bold move.